Binge watch and learn on TRS Clips. What about that experiment you were talking about outside the church?
Mm-hmm.
The one where you
The
cover
Estes one, yes.
Estes.
Yeah, ESTES, Estes.
I know what it is,
Hmm.
but explain it. What is an Estes experiment?
Mm-hmm.
I know that when I was much younger, this is before Facebook, when websites were a thing,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of websites used to talk about this experiment. It was an internet trend where they said that if you ever want to experience what LSD is like without taking LSD, do this.
Okay.
And you cover your eyes with like a table tennis ball, a ping pong ball cut in half. You put noise cancelling headphones and you play a certain frequency
Yeah.
of in old school televisions when you lost the signal, it
Yeah.
would just be a
The white noise. The white noise, yeah.
You just play the white noise in your
Right.
ears.
Right.
But what actually happens to your mind and your senses when all this is happening?
Okay, so when I am in that experiment, so first thing that happens is that I'm totally disconnected from the outer world because my major two senses are shut.
Did I describe it correct?
Yeah.
This is how it happens.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Yeah, no. It's mainly these two, the eyes shut and the white noise playing in my ears.
Is it dangerous to do this alone?
Of course.
Never do it alone.
Please no. Definitely not. Now, because we know what we are dealing with, now this is something that we always tell everybody, that do not indulge in any kind of spirit communication, any kind of experiment unless you know how to deal with it. You don't have to step into this zone unless you really know, because you're literally stepping into the world of the unknown. We don't know what kind of entities we are going to deal with or encounter. So it's better not to step in unless you have proper knowledge. So it's a big no-no. So while we were doing this experiment, so every time I've done an S-test, the first thing that happens is I am totally shut from the external world. I can't see. I can't hear them. There have been moments where I have felt that I hope they have not left me and gone. But it's literally as if I'm teleported into the spirit world. I can not only hear them through the white noise, their voices, but because even my vision is closed, I can sense, and they're giving me visions via my clairvoyance. Maybe I'll explain this in a way. So we were doing this S-test in a recent, not the church one, but in Orissa, in one of our investigations. And over there, we were barely getting any words. And I was like, I'm hardly getting any words. But these entities were not ready to talk or give words, but they were started showing me visions. So I was getting that I can see fire. I can see two kind of pyres burning. Then I could see some kind of crawly and weird looking entities. So it was like, when you can't hear, even this sense is much more enhanced, much more open. So I was even getting visuals. So it becomes like a combination of words that they are telling me and the visions that they are showing me.
But through the
I hear the sound.
Okay. For example, when you're meditating very deeply, your senses go inwards. Like your sense of hearing switches off.
Right.
Something like that happens?
Yes, because see, even, but over here, it's very much audible to my ears. I can literally hear. That is, in meditation, it's little different because that voice is more like an inner voice. It's not as if someone is literally, that also happens where you feel someone is calling your voice. That's different. But it's more of an inner thing in meditation than an external, which happens in Estes.
Okay. More about it, please. What do you hear? You hear the exact voice?
Okay, so it depends. Yeah. I can make out if it's a female voice, if it is a male voice, if it is a child's voice. Other than that, there are many times that they are, especially when they're in need of help, they are literally talking over each other. So there are many sounds coming, and then I have to pick out the most, whichever is the loudest or whichever is is easily understood. Because They are literally throwing a lot of words. So I have to even use my intuitive, because I don't know what these people are asking. So I even put in my intuition and I pick and choose words that, okay, this is it, this, these are the words. So it's sometimes like, especially in the church one, the Nainital investigation, I heard instruments. And I think that was the first time I was hearing instruments, and it was only later when I saw the video. These guys told that, and I mean, later they said, and when I was seeing the video, I realized that they were actually asking for signs that make some noise, or, make some kind of a sound. So they were giving it to me as sounds of instruments.
Hmm.
And that was the first time I was hearing something like that, because never in an S test I heard tabla, or a harmonium playing or a guitar playing. So I like, if this makes any sense, this is what I'm hearing.
Okay. Have you ever thought of the deeper science of that? Like, why does it
Still
happen?
digging into it. As I said, that this is like, it's a journey. Now, since for the first time we experienced something like a shape-shifting entity, for the first time I started hearing instruments. Now we are getting deeper and researching into what this could be.
No, but the S-test experiment, I'm
Huh.
saying. Like,
Okay.
what is the science of it? In terms of, I'm assuming there's a certain frequency of white noise, which probably syncs you up like a radio to the frequency of their realm. I mean, this is the engineer in
So
me speaking.
probably so I'm not from the engineering background. I think Sarvajit will be better to explain this. But from what I understand, it kind of acts as a medium between the two frequencies. Like, we hold a certain frequency, we are able to catch a certain frequency, though the entities hold a totally different frequency. So this is kind of bridging a gap between the two, and that is why I'm able to hear them.
Okay. What happens if a teenager sitting at home tries this experiment? We are not encouraging it.
No, definitely not. Because see, when the entities, if there are entities around and they are seeing that someone is acknowledging them, someone is trying to communicate with them, someone is trying to actually tap into their frequencies, they will get drawn. There is a chance.
Are they drawn by knowing that you and me are talking about them?
They know.
Okay. That we're speaking about them.
They know.
That same demonic auntie knows in anything. Auntie, sorry. But they have
They
an
know.
idea.
They know.
What about the kids watching this at home? If they are watching this kind of a podcast, are they calling those energies into their lives? Nothing like that.
No. See, the whole point is, that is one of our aims, to help people with the actual information so that they can get rid of fear, because there is so much of fear. There is so much of wrong information about this field, which has been fed since childhood. Because I have seen, so many times the child being told that, don't go there, otherwise the ghost will come. Eat this, do this fast, otherwise the ghost will come. So right from there, that time, that fear of ghosts and entities has been fed in the child, right? So it's played with the subconscious mind, and where they by default get scared when it comes to something like this. So we are just trying to show people the facts of, everything is not bad. Yeah, bad does exist, but there is good also. And to present the facts in front of people. So I always, I believe that don't let your fear overpower you.
Yeah. I'll just end this episode by saying that over the last year that we've been doing so many of these darker episodes, things have happened in my life. I feel there have been episodes we haven't released where we recorded something with someone who was so dark, who did and said so many dark things that we just decided not to put it up on the internet.
Wow. Okay.
Things happened in my own life in this house. And somehow at the same time, a spiritual guest would get sent to me and highlight the power of meditation, highlight the power of mantras especially.
Yeah.
Mantras are not specific to Hinduism. They're in
Right.
Zoroastrianism, they're in Islam, they're in Christianity, they're in Buddhism, they're in Jainism.
Yes.
They're in every single faith of the world. If these things scare you, and if you feel you're being affected by these things, there is a certain power in words and mantras
Definitely.
and syllables which are of that frequency.
Yes.
So if anything's scaring you, trust me, mantra science from any religion of the world will help you.
It's basically their faith, once you keep your faith in something, it is going to work for you.
TRS Clips has all sorts of videos and all sorts of playlists. Make sure you explore the channel by subscribing and heading to our homepage and reading through all the playlists. Happens through.